And welcome, everybody. I want to begin by reading some statistics. As of 2013, there were 610,000 people who were homeless in the United States. Nearly two-thirds of people experiencing homelessness were living in emergency shelters or transitional housing programs. Between 36,000 to 54,000 live in the Los Angeles area alone. Los Angeles' homeless population represents 9% of the national total and includes the most homeless veterans, more than 6,000 in the country. 63,000 homeless children live in this city. And with that, as we all have walked by a homeless man, woman, or child in our lives, we've all thought, what can we do to help? What can we do to prevent this from happening? Well, this young woman here with me came up with a brilliant and an innovative answer. Just as you saw, please welcome everybody Tina Hovsepian, our mother of innovation tonight.
Thank you.
You're a popular young lady here, and rightly so. Tell us how you came up with this concept. You were in class in art school, and it was a trip that you took to Southeast Asia that inspired you?
Correct. I went to the USC School of Architecture, and in 2006, I wanted to start with sharing that I started practicing Buddhism. And I think it's really relevant, especially here, because the Buddhism that I practice, it's based on the Lotus Sutra, and it's the only sutra that says that women can attain enlightenment as they are. Other sutras talk about how you have to be reincarnated as a man and then go through austerities before attaining enlightenment. So I started practicing in 2006, and in 2007, I had the opportunity to study abroad in Southeast Asia. And what struck me the most while I was there was a school, an elementary school in Cambodia. We had been prompted to redesign that school as a project, and when we went to visit the school, we also visited the surrounding village. And it was personally, for me, the first time witnessing firsthand third world poverty. And it got me really thinking about how privileged I am to be able to live in America, in Los Angeles, have an education, have supportive, people around me. So I really determined when I came back, based on that Buddhist philosophy, that I would do something to utilize my skills to give back to society. And that's when I designed Cardborigami, because I decided to do something for the urban homeless in Los Angeles, being an LA native. And during the semester of 2007 fall, I designed Cardborigami.
And when you returned from Southeast Asia, the inspiration came from Skid Row.
Correct, because honestly, to me, Skid Row, the situation there is worse than any third world country, because we have the resources and we have the, we should have the resources available to make it better, to not have that. And when you go to Skid Row, it's frightening because in some ways it's worse than poverty in third world.
And as we mentioned, wanting to help the homeless is not a novel idea, but you broke through in a way that many haven't, and that was actually communicating with the homeless people and asking what they needed, and most of them told you they didn't want a handout. They wanted to be part of the process that got them into a home, a permanent home.
Exactly. We went to Skid Row multiple times, and we took prototypes of the shelter that's on stage right now.
And we'll get to that. I want you to explain the shelter.
And because I personally wanted to know, I needed to know if this was something that would help people or if it was, just a school project. And the results were that 93% of the people we met and spoke with said that where they sleep now is worse than this shelter, meaning this would be a big improvement. And they wanted one immediately. But we also learned that being handed food or necessities doesn't help because they're still, unfortunately, on the streets. And there's a lot to do with, mental illness that isn't being addressed correctly, substance abuse, and so on, where people just refuse services, whereas this shelter could be an incentive to get people in programs.
And talk to us about the practicality of the Cardborigami here, because it could be assembled with just 2 people in less than 30 minutes.
Correct. And we actually did a pilot program where we partnered with the LA LGBT Youth Center, and we hired 5 homeless youth to assemble about 100 shelters. And during that process, we learned that once you're trained, you could have 2 people build a shelter in less than 30 minutes. Yeah, and then after that, there's no assembly required. You can open it to utilize it, and then it compacts to a fraction of its size to be stored or transported.
And initially, when you were telling people about this idea, whether it be colleagues or the homeless that you were visiting with, did everyone embrace it the way you initially thought everyone would?
I honestly got an overwhelmingly positive response about the shelter. When I first designed it, I thought of it just as a school project, but I was really encouraged to take it out there into the real world, and I was told that it would make a difference, and I've been doing my best because that's why I designed it, and that's my passion, is to really see it make a difference and help people. And so that kind of encourages me, and events like this encourage me to keep moving forward.
Because as you know, the audience knows, you're an architect by training.
Correct.
That is your day job.
Yes.
And you're incorporating helping the homeless by designing temporary shelter for them, and one day hoping to turn that into permanent homes for them as well that are affordable.
Correct. So as an architect, what better, solution than to design affordable housing that, really gets to the root of that issue of homelessness.
And the goal, though, is for these Cardborigamis to be a temporary solution. So where do you draw the line between encouraging and wanting people, the homeless who are living there, to like their surroundings and to be part of the design, but also looking at the bigger picture down the road, and that is getting them off of the streets permanently?
So based on that goal of really helping people get off the streets, we've developed a 4-step path out of homelessness within the Cardborigami nonprofit organization. And the first step, which is the immediate need of shelter, includes the Cardborigami unit itself. But then we move on to the second step, where we would incorporate, partnerships with other organizations to get people social services they need. The third step would be permanent housing, and the fourth step would be sustaining that permanent housing by providing job placement services, which would be a job within our organization or with a partnering organization.
So you've really planned this out here. What is the reaction? But I mean, you told us that you were in Southeast Asia and you were inspired when you saw children. I purposely wanted to list the numbers and break them down by the homelessness in this country, whether it's children, whether it's veterans. Every single person has a story that so many of us don't know and will never know. How important is it for the people that you talk to have their voices heard, to have that level of respect that you say was inspired through Buddhism?
Well, that's the thing. I feel like there's a preconceived notion amongst most people in society that the people who are homeless, it is their fault in some way, and that they should just go out and get a job or, take care of it. But when you speak to people on the streets like I have done, you just learn that everyone has their own story, and I want to be that voice to share that, maybe we can all have a new perspective towards homelessness and utilize design to attract more resources towards the cause.
And we talk about costs as well, which is important. $30?
The material cost, yes, it's $30.
And your goal is to bring it down to $20?
Correct.
Well, we salute you tonight. You are our MOI of the evening, and I'd like to invite someone else to join us on stage. Please welcome Dion Colvin Lovely. It's such a great name. National Media Director for Toyota Motor Sales. Congratulations.
Thank you, Bianna, and a big thank you to Tina Brown. This is such a phenomenal gathering of change makers here tonight. Toyota is proud to partner for the 4th year in a row with Women in the World, and we're honored to be presenting Women in the World here in Los Angeles at the Salon tonight. I want to take a moment to recognize my colleagues from Toyota who are here in attendance. They're sprinkled throughout, and I'm very privileged to work alongside these remarkable executives on a daily basis. I'm very happy that each of you are able to join tonight, and I hope you leave this evening with a sense of pride, knowing that we are all in a unique position to advance women locally, within our communities, and around the world. We all know, and this salon proves, that when good ideas are shared, great things can happen. The impact and dedication we just heard about from our Toyota Mother of Invention, Tina Hovsepian, and the work that she's doing in Los Angeles is truly inspiring. Since Toyota began partnering with women in the world, we've had the privilege to support 12 remarkable women-led organizations that are making a difference locally as well as globally in some cases. Toyota is proud to demonstrate our ongoing commitment by honoring Mothers of Invention, who are these courageous women developing innovative and practical solutions to some of the most pressing problems we have in the world today. So now I'd like to turn attention back to Tina, who I'm very fortunate to share the stage with. Can you please join me here? In recognition for the remarkable work that you've accomplished so far and to help you continue in your mission, we're delighted to present our Toyota Driving Solutions grant to you in the amount of $50,000. It's our great honor to help you and Cardborigami go wherever you feel it needs to be taken. Thank you.
Wow, thank you.